Spooky, haunting and magical are just some of the words used to describe the array of artwork on display at Shop Columbia for Dark Market this October. Located on 619 South Wabash, the Dark Market is showing a display of an array of student artworks in different formats, whether that be illustrations, graphic design or jewellery making. Dane is one of those artists gaining exposure through the Dark Market.
Because this is one of my first times selling my art, not like in person. It's usually online. And it's really cool to see like, boom, there it is. It's more so I think about exposure and just getting into the school and actually just being like, here's my artwork, I'm gonna be here for a while.
When we have a specific theme, like this Halloween, it's Dark Market, so we want anything dark, anything spooky, anything Halloween related.
Clear out that spare bookshelf and fill it with one-of-a-kind treasures and prints from the next talented artists. Elliot Royce reporting for the Columbia Chronicle. Throughout November and December, these seats will be packed full of eager watchers-on for the student choreography project dance class, putting on stellar showcases with dances created entirely by students. I've had the pleasure of watching some of their tech runs and speak to some of the students involved in making the dance.
Places, our own organization to come up with costume, to cast our pieces, and then decide how we run our actual rehearsals.
I'm fortunate enough to work with a lot of people that I was already close with, but some people that I wasn't as close with, and now I feel really connected with them, and that's super special. Yes, dance can be a lot for us. It can be physically draining, mentally draining, but even on bad days, I find myself still showing up to class so I can be with my friends and just move my body so I'm not sitting at home rotting away in bed.
The class has clearly left students better dancers, choreographers and communicators, but the only thing stronger than the friendship formed is the performances on the big stage. Hello and welcome to Keys News. I'm Elliot Royce.
I'm Ben Pearson. Here is what's coming up on the programme today.
Red Nose Day 2025 kicks off tomorrow and will be in full swing with comic relief Funny for Money airing at 7 p.m. live from Media City. Tomorrow sees the return of Comic Relief, which is happening at Salford Media City.
We have reporter Will Upton live on location to tell us more. So, tell us more about what's happening tomorrow, Will.
Going out and beyond paradise.
Are there any special events that we should be looking out for, Will?
There are. Radio 1's ultra-marathon man, Jamie Lang, will be hitting the road. He already is hitting the road, in fact, with a staggering 150-plus mile run.
A dog, Elliot?
I don't know. I have a little cat called Casper, little black cat, not like the friendly ghost, but he's a lovely little boy. But I don't have a dog. I do quite like a dog, though.
Well, what if I told you that there was a doggy disco in Manchester this week?
Well, I'd say tell me more, Ben.
Well, I won't, but our reporter Elena Towell will.
Last Sunday, the St Patrick's Day Parade returned to Manchester and attracted thousands of people, whether you're fully Irish, one of your parents is Irish, or you just like a pint. Paddy's Day has got you covered. Almost 1,000 homes in Manchester city centre lost power last night in the Deansgate area. Engineers have restored 320 homes before midday today, but investigations continue into the wider issue. Electricity North West, the company responsible for the area affected, said that on their website the power cuts were because of an unexpected incident with underground cables. Here in the Men's Rugby League, the future of the Salford Red Devils is still in question. Hopes of a takeover by an unnamed Australian group this weekend are becoming more and more thin, and in Men's Rugby Union, England will be facing tough opposition in Six Nations in their second game against France. England opened their Six Nations campaign in a 27-22. The Rose's captain Maro Itoje stated that despite the loss, he was proud of the way the boys fought until the very end. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to your Keys News Bulletin at 12:30. I'm Elliot Royce. Who let the dogs out? Dozens of Dalmatians have got together for a party that has been held for dogs in Manchester. Pop and Bark organise parties for different breeds of dogs ranging from Dachshunds to Dalmatians. Has been your 12:30 bulletin. We'll be back for more at 3 o'clock for more news updates. goodbye.
What did you do in your time in lockdown to keep you busy?
I got involved in a bit of painting. It's a great pastime I really enjoy, but not quite as much as I enjoy a good eating challenge. In celebration of National Chili Day, our reporter Dan Mercer has been out to try the hottest chili in the world. Thank you, goodbye. And some unfortunate news in the world of F1. Former team principal and pundit Eddie Jordan passed away peacefully this morning from prostate cancer, surrounded by his family. A racing driver in his youth, Eddie Jordan was known for his eccentric mannerisms and his unrivaled energy around the F1 paddock. He joined the Formula One paddock by entering his own team, Jordan Grand Prix, in 1991. That year, at the Belgian Grand Prix, they introduced the world to a certain Michael Schumacher. Jordan Grand Prix entered 250 races between 1991 and 2005, winning 4 Grand Prix and finishing third in the 1999 Constructors' World Championship. After stepping away from the pit wall, Jordan joined the BBC for their coverage of Formula One. Bringing with that his famous Irish wit, he quickly became a fan favourite presenter for millions, including a 10-year-old me. He remained active until his December cancer diagnosis with his Formula for Success podcast about the ins and outs of Formula One with his former BBC co-presenter David Coulthard. Eddie Jordan will be remembered by many and missed by all. So I stand amongst some great artwork from the history of Ipswich Town Football Club and some great memories in the history of Portman Road. But today it's time for new heroes to be born. The first time ever Ipswich Town Women's will be playing in this historic stadium, and it's time for new heroes to be made. As election day nears and early voter ballot stations open across Chicago and the nation beyond, but young voters are still divided. Many energised, but many still staying home. What's keeping them from casting their ballots? I'll explore the factors behind the youth voter turnout and try and gauge why some aren't bothering to cast their ballot. I spoke to political science professor at UIC, EJ Fagan, for more insight as to why many young voters remain a bit disengaged.
There's about 3 factors that cause voter turnout to go up and down. So one is registration rates. So in the United States, you have to register to vote in order to vote. And if you haven't registered yet, well, then you can't vote. You know, as we age, we feel more kind of communal attachment. We feel more responsibility for kind of what goes on in the world. A lot of young people haven't formed really strong political opinions yet. They haven't gotten to the point of really kind of getting into that habit of voting. And the last one is the habit, right? Voting is a habit.
Day 3 at Silverstone, and it's been a scorching hot day here in the paddock. The team worked late last night fixing what needed to be done ahead of scrutineering today. We were in from 7:30 this morning. Unfortunately, in the first scrutineering, we did come a little short again. So we were back to the garage working hard, and then we came back to scrutineering and passed it on the Friday. And then it was straight off to fueling up and the tilt test, which we also managed to pass. This has been an absolute blinder of a day for Salford Racing. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do the noise test today. That'll be first thing for tomorrow. Hello and welcome to day 4 of Silverstone with Salford Racing, and what a day it's been. First thing this morning, we were straight down to the noise test as we ran out of time for that yesterday, and we passed that. And then later, just after lunch, we went down for the brake test. It was a little bit nervy whether we'd be able to do it. We had some problems with the brakes earlier on this weekend, but we passed that, and that was the final sticker we needed. We have all 6 stickers on the car for the first time ever. So that means racing on the track. The celebrations were incredible, the smiles and hugs all around. It was a great deal of relief and pride amongst the team. Like this in the history of Salford Racing. History has been made over this weekend, but the job isn't done yet. We still have the endurance race starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow, so the boys will be working tirelessly tonight to make sure that it's ready. Hello and welcome to the 5th and final day here at Silverstone with Salford Racing. 16 of the 100 plus cars that entered Formula Student entered the endurance event today, and only 7 of them were able to finish. One of them, of course, being University of Salford, and we finished 5th overall in the endurance event, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. Just take a look at the scenes as we cross the finishing line. Some of the third years have described it as miles better than their graduation, and it's a week that I'm sure they will never forget for the rest of their lives. We started out as a team fueled on Red Bull and dreams, and we've taken our expectations and smashed them out of the park. Students design, manufacture and compete with their own racing car. So what is a Formula student car? Well, I'm afraid there's no simple answer to that anymore. There is a concept class for smaller teams with a smaller budget where they don't actually have to build the car to compete on the on-track events. The Formula Student AI class, where students are given a base car and they attempt to code it to drive without a driver. Finally, there is the electric vehicles and the good old internal combustion, which follow the same sort of Formula Student class rules, but of course the powertrain differs. Teams will have complete freedom in terms of suspension, so some teams will run push rod, some pull rod, and some with direct actuation. Students will have a year to design, build and prepare the car ready for the competition in July. You have to build a new chassis with at least 3 significant changes from the last year's one. You can keep any external parts that you brought in for the car, but anything that you designed and manufactured yourselves has to be changed for next year's competition. For the competition, you camp at Silverstone for a week, the opening night on Wednesday night, and then Thursday and Friday the scrutineering bay opens, which is the hardest part of the competition. And the first British team and the first internal combustion engine to compete the endurance in 2024, again, Salford Racing. Salford Racing offers fantastic opportunities to experience a small-scale racing team, so whether you're interested in the engineering, business or media side of motorsport, Salford Racing will have a role for you.